I'm your host, Carolyn Solo, LCSW, EMDR therapist, and mom of 3 daughters. Thank you for joining me. Hey, everybody. Welcome back to the Future Template Parent Podcast. I'm your host, Dr. Carolyn Solo, PhD, LCSW, EMDR consultant, and EMDR intensives expert. That's me. Today, I want to directly confront this universal piece of conventional wisdom that we hear about in the private practice world every single year. The summer slump. We've all heard it. Many of us have said it. Many of us believe it to be true, to be happening to us, that once June hits, things kind of go dark. Clients check out, families prioritize vacations, so budgets for therapy get tighter, your inquiry pipeline dries up, no new consultations on the calendar, and we say, hey, that's just what happens. You do other stuff during that time, you amp up your marketing, you work on your website, you clean your office, I don't know, you read more books, you do more trainings, and all those are good uses of your time if that time is available to you. But we pretty much treat that as just an unchangeable law in the world of private practice. That's just how it is. But guess what? Certainly this summer, it's a myth. It's a myth for me, and it's a myth for a lot of the therapists I work with, both in individual coaching and in group coaching. Let me just share my own numbers from the last 3 weeks. While all the Instagram accounts talking about the private practice building, we're talking summer slump, I booked 4 multi-day $6,000 EMDR intensives. That's $24,000 in premium revenue booked during what's supposed to be the most dead month of the calendar year, right? And we're talking 24,000 divided by 60, right? Because those are all 15-hour intensives. Taking out my handy dandy calendar because your girl really struggles to do math, especially on the spot. So let's see, 24,000 divided by 60, $400 an hour, 60 clinical hours. Yeah, that's what that is. Okay. And let me tell you the most critical piece of that data. There was no price resistance. Zero. No hesitation, no one objected, no prolonged back and forth. I could tell that when I started going that way, people were just like, yeah, I get it. That's fine. Whatever it costs, I want to do it. Or they already knew what it cost because they come through my website, right? And I think that is one of the big fears I hear about from therapists a lot is, great, people might want intensives, but who the hell is going to pay that? Well, let me just tell you, at least 4 people in the past 3 weeks are going to pay that. And actually today, this morning, I was thinking about recording this episode and I got a notification that I had another consult booked, an intensive consult, and they booked it today for this afternoon. That's how interested they were. So I should change that number to 5. I said 4, it's 5. I haven't talked to that person yet, so I don't know what's going to happen. But if all things go the way they have been going, I should get that person on my calendar. So the market isn't slow. And that's the other thing we're hearing. 2026, building a private practice, it's nothing like 2020. That is very true, right? If you wanted to build a virtual private practice in 2020, you could, that premium fee, you could do that pretty easily with very low overhead, okay? This is not now. And that is a key difference, right? We're talking about that the market wants high impact, high urgency clinical work that honors the client's timeline and gives them an incredible experience. Part of that incredible experience for me is in person, in a lovely office setting, in nature. 3 of these 4 that I have just booked are coming from out of state. Out of state, one's coming from New York, one is coming from Indiana, and one is coming from Utah. Okay? So, yeah, it's pretty wild. And because the demand is so intense that I'm seeing, and because I'm now, after having been trained in it, like you heard last week, incorporating ketamine-assisted EMDR into my intensive frameworks, I'm officially, as of now, increasing my rate to $8,000 per intensive. And that is what I plan to quote to this person this afternoon on the phone. Haven't put it on my website yet. Haven't even talked about ketamine on my website yet because I haven't had time to update it. but I'm giving you permission right now to make an update to your pricing, even if it's not on your website, okay? I know that's something that people can say like, oh my gosh, my website still says 4,000, I can't quote a new price. Sure you can. What are the chances that someone's gonna say, you liar, that's not what it says on your website? And if they do ask about that, you say, I know, I am in the process of updating my website to reflect these new prices. And as long as you have it in your consent paperwork, the new price, then you're good. But anyway, so yes, added that training. I've also done a couple other advanced trainings this summer, rate going up. And regarding ketamine assisted EMDR, got to give a huge shout out to the brilliant Tiffany Paul. If you aren't following her yet, follow her on Instagram at EMDR with Tiffany. Tiffany provided absolute masterclass level guidance and advisory support on how to seamlessly incorporate ketamine protocols into the EMDR structure within a private practice setting. She is someone that I have coached her on starting her intensive practice, and I have just seen her flourish in the past year. It's so exciting. And she does both ketamine-assisted EMDR and CAP, ketamine-assisted psychotherapy, which if you listen to last week's episode with Candace, we talk about the difference. Well, Tiffany does both. She's a phenomenal clinician. And she doesn't know this yet, but I'm going to have her back on the podcast again soon to talk about all the stuff that she's doing, how she's incorporating KA-EMDR and CAP into her intensives. If you want to expand your clinical tool belt, I cannot recommend her highly enough. Work with her. If you can, she has a consult form on her webpage. I'm going to put that in the show notes. I'm going to put her Instagram in the show notes. So for you, Tiffany, you don't know this, but I'm advertising you because you were so great. Yeah, so the market's not slow, okay? So let's peel back the curtain. How did these 4, soon to be 5, premium bookings land on my calendar in the middle of summer? And why did these individuals have absolutely no issue with the $6,000 investment? Marketing, marketing, marketing. 3 of these clients found me directly through organic search on Google. Okay, but let's be nuanced here. This wasn't just old school search engine optimization, SEO. This is the new era of what I've been talking about a lot. Everyone's been talking about answer engine optimization, AIO. AEO? Oh gosh, I think I'm getting, so maybe AI is artificial intelligence optimization. I don't know, whatever it is. It's AI stuff. When people are in deep distress, okay, they don't just type in generic keywords. Now that we have all these AI chatbots, people are typing complex queries into search platforms to get real answers. When you and me, we're talking about me here, but you should also be doing this, are creating highly precise, specialized web content that addresses, this is what I'm doing, addresses the intersection of complex trauma, dissociation, for me, a lot about parenting neurodivergent kids, whatever your niche is, and intensive structural healing, my platform sets me up as an expert before a consultation call is even booked, right? And I am coming up in all of these AI searches as the person for these intensives. Got to give massive credit where it's due to Brent Gary, my exceptional fractional marketing officer. Brent has built this high converting digital infrastructure that makes this kind of hands-off organic visibility possible. Again, his info is in the show notes. If you're ready to get amazing metrics-driven results to get your business visible. That last client I'm talking about came through a referral from a local psychiatrist that I work with and have worked with, and we send people back and forth. Psychiatric and medical professionals understand the limits of the weekly 50-minute sessions for highly dysregulated or really traumatized clients, people who are stuck. When you are that intensive expert, these professionals who usually I network, and the psychiatrists that I work with are private pay. They don't just send you general clients, right? They send you individuals who want this kind of treatment and who are willing to pay a premium price for it. I will say that doing the ketamine-assisted EMDR has been great because I'm developing more relationships with prescribers who I use to prescribe the ketamine to my clients, and then they send them to me. And so it's a lovely reciprocal relationship. And, you know, most ketamine prescribers are not insurance-based providers. So again, I'm making a connection with someone who works with a population that is going to be open to the kinds of fees I charge. So because of this great, online marketing stuff coupled with the referral network, I did no active selling on these calls. When these individuals reached out, they already knew they wanted an intensive format. They knew what it looks like to work with me because my website is very clear on exactly what they get. They knew the pricing parameters because it was very transparent on my website. They used the site to book their consult and they were ready, they were pre-qualified, and they wanted to go. And some of them already knew that I was doing ketamine, and I have no idea how because it's not on my website. Maybe Instagram? But the point is, when you're showing up consistently in a lot of places, like I do, and like I have been doing for years, these are the kinds of results that you can get. And you could, of course, be thinking right now, okay, Carolyn, great for you, but you're an outlier. And of course, you're telling everyone they can do this because you did it and you want us to pay you to help do it. But I do also want to point to data from therapists I have coached and mentored, because what they're seeing, especially right now this summer, is mirroring what I'm seeing. Tiffany Paul, like I mentioned, she was a coaching client of mine a little over a year ago, right after she started her practice, and now her practice is booming. She's also going to be in my EMDR consultant and training group, which is starting in a couple weeks, which I'm very excited about. Her practice is just bursting with premium referrals. She only does ketamine and EMDR intensives. That's it. She doesn't have month after month after month ongoing clients. Some of her ketamine clients will do like a very structured 6 to 8 sessions, but she does not maintain any ongoing open-ended weekly clients caseloads. This is just in a year since she's opened her practice. Her specialized authority has helped her get so full, and it's grown so rapidly, that she is now offering, as she should be, ketamine-assisted EMDR consultation to therapists. So she's starting another stream of income, which I think is incredible. And, she's going to become a full EMDR consultant, which I think is amazing, and will also give her the opportunity to work with lots more people who are going to benefit from her expertise. So that's Tiffany. Then there's Sarah Hagen. She's another exceptional therapist I've coached who's thriving in my alumni consultation group. I worked with her in a group program, and now she's in my alum group. And at the very end of July, that's the thick of the summer slump, right? She brought in 5 intensive consultation calls, I think in a week, something crazy. And then Juliana Stapp, who's another person, an alum, and she's in my alumni group. Her referral pipeline is just off the charts. She barely can keep track of all the referrals that she's getting. And she really needed then to work on restructuring her practice to actually allow her to handle this. And so we basically, all of us in the alum group sat down and were like, why are you still offering ongoing slots? That needs to stop. And so we're like, no, just anyone who calls you, it doesn't matter who they are, you pitch an intensive. If they don't want that, well, then you refer them out. You have plenty of referrals, more than you can handle. This is not something that's a risk, right? And of course, she had that initial wave of fear of oh no, if I'm not offering this traditional model, it's going to backfire. But she has this overabundance of traffic coming in, and she's got to narrow her scope so that she needs to start saying no to people so that she can protect her energy and her capacity while still making the income that she wants to be making, which she absolutely is. And in this community of therapists I'm working with, we all talk about raising our rates across the board. A lot of us have been doing that, and just because we have this influx of referrals, and we're encouraging each other to raise our rates. Just the value of having a group of peers like that, of doing advanced clinical work, getting great success, pushing each other forward. You can't overstate the alchemy that is in there. So for those of us in groups like this, summer is not the slow season, and it's not if you're doing intensives, and it's not if you're doing it strategically, if you're doing the sustainable work to get your name out there. And we know fall is the busy season, so I don't think these referrals are going to slow down anytime soon. So if you're listening to this thinking, I'm so ready for this, I want this lifestyle, but I'm not EMDR certified yet, well, guess what? there is a container built for you. Starting September 11th, the EMDR certification cohort that I'm running with Danique Bernier is starting. It's highly structured. It's a small group certification program running from September through December 2026, strictly capped at 8 participants. You're going to get your clinical group consultation hours. You need to be certified, and you're going to get business coaching in addition, a monthly business coaching hour in addition to your consultation hours. So you can get that sustainable and profitable private practice. Danique and I are both very experienced with intensives, so we will be giving you that lens. And I always tell people, no, you do not need to be certified to offer intensives. You need to have a strong command of standard protocol. But if you are a competent EMDR therapist, you can make this shift. What can be hardest for people is the logistics, the fee setting, the mindset. So you'll get that in spades too. It's going to be an active and clinically rigorous space. We're going to talk about real cases. You're going to get feedback, and you're going to leave every single session having conceptualized EMDR at a higher level. Basically, the mechanics of the group, we have 5 2-hour sessions starting September 11th, 12 to 2 p.m. Eastern time, every 2 to 3 weeks through December. So you get your 10 hours of group certification. And I have a Circle platform, which is an online course platform, which is going to keep all the recordings there. So you get your 10 hours of certification with a group of 8 peers max. You're going to get monthly business coaching hours, which is an entire hour every single month, totally separate from the clinical case consultation, dedicated purely to the entrepreneurial side of your practice. We can talk intensive pricing. We can talk, different streams of income. We can talk about marketing funnels and lay the groundwork for you, even at this point, even during certification, to transition away from trading hours for dollars. There's also my on-demand EMDR skills brush-up course included. It fills every major gap left behind by your basic training, mastering the AIP model, handling target selection stuck points, advanced somatic and parts-based interweaves, specialized protocol adaptations for complex things like OCD, dissociation, substance use, neurodivergent clients, so many things. And then also we have sort of the centerpiece of this 90-minute live role play demonstration in which I play the therapist, navigating all 8 phases with a highly complex dissociative client. Danique is playing the client, the other consultant who's running this group with me. It's not a polished performance. We didn't plan this. We sort of mapped it out a little bit, but there was no script. But you'll see me responding in real time, clinically pivoting, like shifts in pacing, the moments of uncertainty, how I manage that, and the strategic reasoning behind the interventions, because we're also going to have a commentary that goes along with it. So you can watch that, hear us talk about it, and really get that. So there's a 90-minute session. And then in addition, there's going to be this commentary. So there is a waitlist sale for this program, August 17th through August 19th, 2026. If you get on the waitlist today, you're going to get a discount that's not available during the regular launch sale, and you're going to get a free one-to-one individual consultation hour to utilize, right? So that's part of, you need those 10 consultation hours individual. This will give you one of those for free. Strictly limited to 8 spots as per EMDR regulations. And if our cohort fills from the waitlist during the flash sale, we're not going to have public enrollment. So you need to be on that waitlist. Link is in the show notes to get that waitlist spot, get certified, build a practice worth having, and say goodbye to ever experiencing a summer slump ever again. Thank you for tuning in, and I will talk to you next week. Take care, everybody. Bye.